Hello, my name is Brett Bennett. I'm an engineer with Clemtex, and today I'm going to show you a few maintenance items for the Clemtex SpinCoaters. Alright, so one of the first things I want to talk about is lubrication of the air motor. For every 3 hours of operation, you should put in a couple drops of hydraulic oil. So you'll do that right into the air inlet on the back. After you put that hydraulic oil in, you should run the tool for about a minute or two to let all the oil go out the back so that you don't contaminate your pipe. Now that you've lubricated your air motor, now is a good time to also make sure that your copper manifold is properly aligned in the center of your head. This is very important. If your copper tube is touching the head at all, it will wear a hole in it over time. You should make sure that the head spins freely and does not come in contact with the copper tube. Now we're going to go over the removal of the copper manifold. The thing we're going to do is actually get a saw and cut off this back end on the tube. Now for this demonstration purposes, I can actually just pull it off. Your tool, this will be crimped on and you will not be able to remove it easily like that. You'll have to saw it off. Now we're going to remove this back end right here. Get your Allen wrench and loosen the set screw. Once your set screw is loose, this back end piece will slide right off. Now we can unscrew this nipple from the tool. Once the nipple is removed, you can then take off this hose clamp. Loose is good because we can slide through the hose clamp. Now we'll move over to the head side. The first thing we're going to do is remove the head from the tool. To remove the head, we'll actually loosen with our two provided wrenches right here so that we can pull out the arbor. After the head is removed, we'll then turn the tool back around and we'll remove this set screw right here. Once this set screw is loose, we should be able to slide the copper tube out the tool. Now that we have our old copper manifold out, we're going to go over the installation of a brand new one. The first thing that needs to be done is go ahead and take your head and unscrew the arbor from the back of it. We're going to use it as a guide. Then go ahead and place your arbor back in the tool. It doesn't need to be too tight on there for now. And we'll insert our new copper manifold. Once you've inserted your new copper manifold, line up the halo part of it so that it's about 1/4 inch offset from the ends of the threads. Once you've done this, I like to go ahead and pull up to bend just a little bit so that now when I turn my head around, my halo around, I'm going to be in about the center of the tool. The next thing we're going to do is put our hose clamp on the back. Slide the hose clamp on. Make sure that your head halo of your copper manifold is lined up in the proper spot. We'll then tighten down, not too tight, on the hose clamp. Now that the hose clamp is on, we can go ahead and tighten the set screw on the front side of the tool. This is very important. Do not tighten this set screw too much. This tube is made out of copper. You can compress it and then your fluid will not be able to flow properly. It should be tightened down so that the set screw is just about flush with the outside diameter of the tool. Now that I've tightened my hose clamp, I'm going to show you how to properly bend this tube so that it's offset from that air entry a good amount. Take your screwdriver, slide it up the back side down to the end, close to your hose clamp. Then bend your copper tube back down. This will make these two pieces offset but parallel. Now we'll move over to this end, and we have to make this parallel with the end of the tool as well. So what I'll do is I'll put my thumb down in the middle and I'll pull up on the left side. Then make sure your halo is centered and you can screw your head back on. If you have done this properly, you should be able to spin the head and the copper tube should not be hitting the head at all. Now that we're done with the front side of the tool, we'll move back and install our nipple. Screw the nipple in and then tighten the collar so that it doesn't move. Now we'll install our back piece. Line up the holes and slide it on. Make sure you push it partially into the back side of the nipple. Then we'll tighten our set screw. Now we'll install our compression fitting. Once you tighten these two together, you're done. Now we're going to go over how to properly hook up our SpinCoaters. This is the same for all of them regardless of size. You can either hook them up to an airless pump or a standard paint tank. The air entry is pretty simple. That's right here. Here's the fluid entry. When you're hooking up to a standard paint tank, you should have a ball valve installed on the paint tank to control the fluid flow, to turn it on and off. When you hook up to an airless pump, you should have a back pressure assembly installed on the airless spray gun.